Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video I'm going to be doing an autumn makeup look. That's what I'm doing on this channel at the minute. Autumn makeup. I'm going to be doing like a navy smoky sort of a wing. I don't really want anything under the eyes, that's why I'm going to do the eyes first, hence why I've got my eye primer and my brows done. But let's just dive straight on in. If you are into these sorts of videos, creating different makeup looks, testing out new products, etc., I'd love it if you would subscribe down below. I am posting 31 new videos in October. There's lots here already for you to catch up on if this is the sort of content that you enjoy, and we've got a few more to come. But let's just dive straight on in. Like I say, I've already got my eye primer on. The one that I'm wearing today and the one that I always wear is the Beauty Bay eye base in the shade 2, and I already have my brows penciled in, and I use the PS Pro 3-in-1 brow pencil, and then I'll go in with a little bit of gel at the end. So I'm going to start with an eyeliner because I want this to be quite sharp and quite sort of smoky and dark. I'm going to start with the eyeliner to get the sort of shape that I want, and then I can go in with eyeshadows afterwards. So this is the Beauty Bay Crayon eyeliner in the shade Deep, and this is the most incredible eyeliner. So these are really creamy. You can like scribble it on, smudge it out, and just do a whole eye look just with one product. But I like these because, or this specific shade, because it's black and it is very, very dark, and like from a distance you're probably thinking that's just a black eyeliner. But if you look close up, it has a navy blue, very, very dark shimmer running through it. It's so, so beautiful. And as you blend it out, if you're doing that sort of a look where you just scribble it on and blend it out, it creates that sort of glittery, shimmery depth in the smoky blend, however you do it. And it just creates an eye look all by itself. Obviously I'm going to be going over with eyeshadow powder today, but you can just use this completely on its own. So I'm going to squiggle this along the lash line, and I'm also going to sort of start to create the shape that I want with the wing. Then once I've got that shape that I want, I'm going in with a really dense, almost like a pencil brush, and I'm just going to start tapping over all of this. Like I say, because I'm doing the eyes first, I can like clean up anything that goes a little bit too far, but by just tapping over this, it's smoking it out, but it's keeping it really nice and deep near the lash line. So it's starting to build that smoky, lovely colour that we want for the look, but just with that pencil. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see. I will zoom you in a second, but you can see the slight little bits of shimmer in the pencil, and these are so, so easy to smudge out, but also like once you're done smudging, absolutely set in place. So you can see it's still like really nice and deep at the lash line, but it's like pretty much completely blended out. Like they're so easy to use because they're so creamy. So I'm just gonna even myself up on the other side. So that is just one layer of those crayons, just one like squiggle and blend. So this is the sort of level of colour that you get just on one go. I'm going to go with a little bit more, just a little bit closer to the lash line and not blend it out quite as far, just to get a little bit more depth, keep a little bit more of that actual like blackness. And I'm also going to be a little bit more sort of precise with where I want this shape to be. Ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter because I can just clean up underneath, but I want most of the depth to be sort of right there where I'm going to like clean up here. I want all of this bit to be really, really nice and dark and smoky. So that is the 2 layers of the crayon, of that Beauty Bay crayon. So it's really nice and dark and deep at the lash line and where like the wing is, and it's really seamlessly like blended into the eye primer. So this is still like tacky across the lid, so I'm gonna go in with eyeshadow, like actual powder eyeshadow, and I'm gonna really like add in some of that blue. I want this to be quite navy, ultimately, is like the colour that I'm going for. And just so that you can see how like incredibly long wearing these eyeliners are, I've got a bit of micellar water on a cotton pad here and I'm properly scrubbing on the back of my hand, and it's really not coming off very, very easily at all. Like, you do need like a oil based cleanser or like a cleansing balm to take these off. I'm really struggling. It's getting there, but it is eventually going to come off with a bit of micellar water, but you do need more like a cleansing balm. So the eyeshadow palette that I'm going into is this one here, and I haven't used this yet. It is brand new. I am so excited to dive into it. I don't know which shades I want to use. Obviously a shimmer, and obviously more of these like bluey tones down in the bottom half. But other than that, I've really got no idea. I mean, the purples are beautiful. Definitely gonna have to do like a purpley based look, but what colour do I want? I think I want to start with something. I don't want to go straight in with a dark powder, so do I go in with, I'm gonna go in with C, this one here, and then I'm trying to think ahead and think, what shimmer do I want to do? Maybe like a silver, that might look quite nice. I really have no idea, but I'm going to take a little fluffy brush and dip into that C shade, that matte one, and just with a really light hand I'm going to start buffing that over all of that pencil liner that we've just buffed out. Then when I've got much less on my brush, again I'm holding my brush like really far back, so I'm barely applying any pressure at all. I'm like slowly swiping this colour sort of above the crease, so it's almost leaving, like in this space here, almost leaving it a little bit blank, but when the eye is open it's really dark and really smoky. And that colour is perfect. It's almost like a denim-y sort of blue. Not too dark, but just perfect for that sort of first layer. Then I think I'm going to be brave. Oh, and actually, I think the colour that I'm going to go in with next is actually called Denim. This one here, I think I'm going to go in with that one. So like I say, I want navy, and I want this to be quite deep and obviously very blue, so I'm going to go in with the same brush and just tap right on the end of it into that denim shade, and I'm going to do basically the same thing but keep it further out, so it's adding more of that darker colour but it's not overtaking the first one that we put down. So I feel like we're getting there. I feel like we're getting that like depth of the blue that I'm looking for. I feel like I want something a little bit brighter but also dark, more, I don't know, this sort of shade. If I show you it you'll know what I mean. Cerulean, this one here, so it's dark still but more of like an electric blue, which I love. So I'm taking that colour on a fluffier brush, larger and fluffier. I'm basically just going to buff over all of this to add a little bit more of that pop of blue, and then I'm just buffing over everything with a big fluffy brush with no colour on it, just to make sure that all of that is really nice blended. and I am happy with that. So now I just need a shimmer across the lid, I think. Before I do that, I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of that denim shade, the darkest one, just to make sure it's really nice and dark on this outer corner. Yes, that's better. Right, I'm ready for a shimmer. So you can see there's like basically no product on the inner corner. This area is still quite tacky from that eye base, which is of course perfect for going in with a shimmer. So the few shades that I'm deciding between for the shimmer is Ocean, which I like the tone of, but the glitter in it is green, and I feel like this look isn't necessarily leaning very green, so I don't know if that's going to go. Then the other option is Cosmic, which doesn't have any of that green in. Is quite similar in like depth, but doesn't have any of that green in. Or Steel. Do I just go like straight for like the silvery tone? Tell you what, I will swatch Steel and Cosmic. Or they are quite similar in like depth. I feel like when the light isn't catching those, they look very similar. And then when they catch the light, that's where you see the difference. So you can see like one is silver and one is blue. I wonder if we could do like the blue on the outer half and then the silvery one in the centre. I mean, we really may as well. I'm not doing anything today, so I mean, other than filming a few other videos, but you all know this was my thought process. So I'm just going to use my finger. I'm going to go into Cosmic, which was that more bluey shade, and I'm going to try and tap this on the outer half in that like little gap that we made in the matte shades. So that's just again adding more depth. So then before I go in and blend that out, obviously I need to go in with a brush and blend that out. I'm going to go in with Steel, that silvery shade. Ooh, yes, that looks nice. That has just amped it up. That's so reflective, but also like really like dark and smoky. I like those. So as always, those have blended like a dream. I just feel like I want something a little bit more blue. I clearly don't have enough. So I'm going to go in, again just with my finger, I'm going to go in with Potion, which looks very blue. And I'm just going to tap a little bit of this sort of over all of it, just to add in a tiny little bit more of that electric blue sort of shade, but so you can still see that there's like the gradient of the silver underneath. Yeah, and I am happy with that. So I'm gonna take a cotton pad and just swipe underneath here, and also sharpen that outer line. Where's that going? So obviously while I was blending, like I've got a lot of colour like on the lower lash line. I don't want any of that. I don't want anything on the lower lash line. I just want this to be like very lid heavy. I feel like that makes it look a little bit more glam. And we all know, if you've seen any of my videos before, I love a smoky under eye, but I feel like I look completely different when I don't do that. So that makes it really like different for me. So once I'm happy with how that's looking, are they even enough? If I keep my head on the side, then yes. I'm going to just add a wing, and I'm going in with the Beauty Bay one. So this is the liquid eyeliner in Domino. I'm just going to add a wing just to sharpen up that lash line and add a little bit more depth. I'm also just going to add mascara now, so that if any of this glitter, like whilst my eyeballs are moving, if any of this glitter wants to fall out, it will fall on the mascara. I'm using the e.l.f. Big Mood, and then once I've done this, I can do the rest of the base. I'm gonna go like fairly full coverage, fairly glam, because obviously a navy smoky eye is not for every day, so let's make it feel right with the amount of coverage on the base as well, you know? So that is the eyes done with the mascara. What's going on with my hair? I don't know. And I'm going to go in with my primer from my project pan. So this is the Relove H2O Hydrate primer. I'm just going to do pumping a bit of that, swipe it onto my face, and then I'm not actually mixing a foundation today. I'm just going to use a foundation as it comes out of the pump. I'm not going to mix it with anything. It's the first time for everything. I can't remember the last time I used a foundation and I didn't mix it with like an e.l.f. Halo Glow or the Beauty Bay Glow Filter. I always mix. So I thought today I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mix anything. I'm just going to use it as it is. And the foundation that I'm using is Sleek In Your Tone 24-hour foundation. I couldn't tell you what shade this is because it's rubbed off the label. 2N, it says 2N on the bottom of the bottle. I don't know if that's what the shade was. So I'm just going to take a couple of pumps of this, dot it all over my face, and as always I'm using a beauty sponge because that's my favourite way. This is honestly one of my favourite foundations. Like, it just never fails me. I always feel really like skin confident when I'm wearing this foundation. It's just such a beautiful amount of coverage. I love it. So I'm going in with this combo for my concealer because I don't like this product on its own and I don't like this product on its own, but together I like it. It's the e.l.f. Putty Colour Correcting Eye Brightener, just in the lightest shade, I do believe. Again, could not tell you. I would have got the lightest shade. And the Revolution IRL Filter Finish Concealer. I have this in the shade C3. So can I, yes, my nails aren't too long, I can still fit my finger in the tub, and I'm just going to tap a little bit of this under my eyes. So obviously we've got a lot of blue going on the eyelids, and I want all of this really nicely cancelled out under the eyes. So I'm just going to tap this in. Also going to tap a little bit on the like outer corner of the wing because I will put some concealer there, and then in with a little bit of concealer. I don't know what it is about this concealer primer combo. I really don't like the products separately, but together they work fantastic. So I'm just going to use a brush so that I can really get right up against that lash line with the concealer, and then a quick bounce over with the sponge just so that there aren't any lines anywhere. And I feel like once I've set that concealer, that's going to look really nice. It's just, I don't know, a little bit shiny from that primer. Not my favourite combo, but one that I'm determined to use through. So I'm going to use liquid colour products on the face. So before I set anything, I'm going to do that using the 17 Second Skin Enhancing Concealer in 003P for my bronzer. Before I tried this concealer as a bronzer, I had never successfully found a concealer to use as a bronzer. I tried a few and none of them have worked. This formula is absolutely outstanding. Honestly, my favourite concealer. It's so good. I don't have it out on my table, but the tube of the actual concealer shade of this that I use, I've had to take the stopper out. In fact, the stopper is here. I've had to take the stopper out so that I can get the last bits of product out. I am going tomorrow actually to collect an order to pick up another tube because I'm like, if I run out of that concealer, I do not want to leave the house. It's so good. If you have dry skin, I highly recommend it. It's so fantastic. For blush, I'm going in, this was a very unintentionally Beauty Bay heavy look. I didn't plan it that way, I promise. I just got things out that I wanted to play with. The liquid blush in the shade Spring, which is more of like a duskier, more like muted pink. I just thought that this would be perfect with this amount of colour on the eyes. I didn't want anything that would be too deep or too like intense. Once I've done this, I'll decide if I want a highlighter or not. I think I'm quite liking having them on matte skin actually. You have never heard me say that before. And you'll probably never hear me say it again. I feel like because I'm going like way out of my comfort zone, not having anything under the eyes, I'm like, we may as well have very, very matte skin too. Why not? If I'm not making it look like me, I really may as well. So I'm going to set under the eyes with the Revolution little duo thing, and I've got a top tip for you. You know these little powder puff things? I got a whole pack of them from Amazon ages ago, and I'd just been working my way through all of them, and then I got to the last one. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna clean these. Like, do you clean these by hand? Like, what do you do? I just threw these in the laundry with like my underwear, my socks, like on a gentle wash, and they've come out so clean and like absolutely no effort at all. And I did these a couple of days ago and they are completely dry. I didn't like leave them on a radiator or anything. I didn't leave them out. They've just been on my table like ready to go, but I was like worrying how I would clean these. Just throw it in the washing machine. Could not be easier. So I'm setting under the eyes, like right up to the lash line. I need to decide if I want to do mascara on the lower lashes as well. How far out of my comfort zone do I want to go today? I think I'll decide last if I want mascara on the lower lashes. Currently I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I definitely feel like I need it. I'll decide in a minute. I'm just going to add a little bit, just a little bit of the Collection Diamond Shine highlighter. Just going to take a little bit of this on a very dense brush, and I'm going to tap it onto the inner corner of the eye, like blend it in. Yes, just wanted something a little bit brighter and also sparkly on the inner corner. So yes, I think I'm happy with no highlight on the skin, but I definitely want some mascara on the lower lashes. Just take the e.l.f. Big Mood and I'll just tap a little bit of this right onto the lower lashes. Yes, that's better. I feel like I look more like me now. Just that tiny little, you know, just a little thing. So, what now? I need brow gel desperately. I'll go in with the e.l.f. and just run a little bit of that through my brows. So I'm just going to wipe off the lip balm that I put on before I started filming. And then for the lips, I'm going in with the Catrice Plumping Lip Liner. This is in the shade 040 Starring Roll. I'm just desperately trying to replace the Essence ones that I just can't get my hands on anymore. The 8 Hour Comfort Matte Lip Liners. I can't find them online anywhere. This I got off Just My Luck. It's similar, but it's just not the same. It does, however, smell like toothpaste, which I quite like actually. It's like quite a nice sort of sweet minty scent. Then I'm going in with the MUA Creamy Matte Lipstick in Super Nude, and then if I just go over with a little bit more of that lip liner, I'm hoping that this will blend together nicely. That's definitely more cool toned, the lip liner, than what I usually go for, but you know what, I feel like it works. So am I done? Yes, I think I'm done. Do I want a little bit more bronzer? No, you don't have to add bronzer at the end every single day. And I don't know what I've done with my hair today, but I feel very wide. I feel like my hair is like standing off the side of my head. I'm like trying to calm it down. Anyway, let me know what you think of the finished look. I would love to see if you recreate this look. Do let me know. If you are new here, I would love it if you'd hit the subscribe button down below. I'm posting a new video every single day in October, so there's lots more looks coming up. There's loads of reviews, etc, etc. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.